Is whiteness a race? Do white people have a race? Or who is described as having a race? Let's get into it. White racial innocence. Because we are not raised to see ourselves in racial terms or to see white space as racialized space, we position ourselves as innocent of race. On countless occasions, I've heard white people claim that because they grew up in segregation, they were sheltered from race. At the same time, we turn to people of color who may also have grown up in racially segregated spaces because of decades of de jure and de facto policies that block them from moving into white neighborhoods to learn about racism. That white people turn to people of color to teach them about racism. But why are people of color who grew up in segregation also innocent of race? I ask my readers to reflect deeply on the idea that white segregation is racially innocent. Because people of color are not seen as racially innocent, they are expected to speak to issues of race, but must do so on white terms. This idea that racism is not a white problem enables us to sit back and let people of color take very real risks of invalidation and retaliation as they share their experiences. Just think about the comments that we get on our videos when we just talk about race. And worse, when we talk about our own lived experiences or when we read books like this. But we are not required to take similar cross-racial risks. They, not we, have race, and thus they are the holders of racial knowledge. In this way, we position ourselves as standing outside hierarchical social relations. White flight may be seen as another aspect of white racial innocence, as it is often justified by beliefs that people of color, again, especially Black people, are more prone to crime. And that if too many Black people move into a neighborhood, crime will increase. Home values will go down and the neighborhood will deteriorate. For example, in a study of race and perceptions of crime conducted by sociologists Heather Johnson and Thomas Shapiro, white families consistently discussed fear of crime and associated crime with people of color in their minds. The more people of color in an area, specifically Blacks and Latinos, the more dangerous the area was perceived to be. Research matching census data and police department crime statistics show that this association does not hold. But these statistics do not quell white fears. For most whites, the percentage of young men of color in a neighborhood is directly correlated with perceptions of the neighborhood crime level. I even had a neighbor, I live in a mostly white but very mixed neighborhood. I'm just looking out the window, making sure. And when my mother came several years ago for a long visit, someone joked, oh, she's going to bring down the property value.